Okay, today we're going to compare the SimpleShot Torque slingshot to the SimpleShot FlippinOut Scout slingshot. Now, in my previous slingshot video, I compared a Scout to the half-cock target sniper, and that got a really kind of a nice response. And my curiosity continues about other kinds of slingshots and the differences between them. So I've picked up a couple more along the way, and I have plans to pick up yet a couple more in the future. So there'll be at least one or two more of these kind of videos. We're going to take a few shots with these, and then we'll take them inside and compare them just a little bit. Pretty windy today, so we've got the tape tacked down with a few rocks. But here's my 33 feet. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. All right, we're at about 35 feet. Let's take a few shots. SimpleShot Scout. Okay, let's see if I can get on target with the torque. Pretty easy stuff. Maybe a more challenging shot. I'm going to be way out of frame here. This is a lot closer to 65 feet. And I'm going to back up even just a little bit further. See if I get this one or not. Sorry I'm out of camera, but about 75 feet. Okay, continuing the comparison of the Torque slingshot from SimpleShot to the Scout, the FlippinOut Scout from SimpleShot. Got the bands in the way of, there we go, having a good look at this. Now, my last slingshot video got a really nice response here on YouTube and in some of the forums that I participate in. In one of the conversations on one of the forums I'm on, these loop tubes came up as a topic. And that thread went quite a few posts. A lot of people had some things to say about these loop tubes, about shooting these. Apparently this is popular in Asia mostly, but a lot of other people operate them too for a number of reasons. These lightweight, thin tubes can generate a lot of speed on your ammo, and you can match these tubes just like you can flat bands to the kind of ammo that you want to shoot. And apparently they're known to be a bit more durable than flat bands, although I'm going to say there that that's tough to, you know, for instance, the bands on my other Scout, this is the bands that came on this Scout when I got it. These are approaching between 900 and 1,000 shots, and I haven't had any problems with them. I've had a lot of other bands on this Scout, but it's approaching 1,000 shots with this set of bands. Maybe I won the lottery on this exact band set. You know, and they are a lot softer than they were in the first couple hundred shots. After about 200, these really softened up and lost a lot of their zip. You know, I could cut them shorter and give them a little bit of zip back, but you know, these have been incredibly durable. I'm very pleased with this band. Great job, SimpleShot. I appreciate that. That's very cool. So, you know, everything I've read about band sets, and, you know, it's kind of the luck of the draw on the rubber for one thing. You know, it's also kind of, you know, has a lot to do with how the bands are cut. You know, if you did a good job getting your pouch on your bands, and just a lot of other factors. For instance, these are some tapered bands. Tapered bands apparently don't last as long as straight cut bands in most circumstances, and it's just the reality of it, you know, and your rubber wears out. But in any case, you know, these loop tubes are popular with a lot of people largely due to their durability, and that you know, this sort of a design can generate quite a lot of speed with you know, if you match your ammo properly. Now, I already had a couple sets of loop tube bands that I've tried on my Scout. I tried them with my flip clips removed and wrapped, you know, through the hole and over the top and to the side, and I didn't like them like that. They kind of come unraveled every time you shoot, and you have to reset it up for each next shot. They can also be attached with these flip clips, and these flip clips are very cool. We'll talk about those in just a moment. So you can operate loop tubes on this, but it isn't specifically designed for loop tubes. This one is set up for loop tubes and for over-the-top bands. See that groove across the top of the forks there? So it's set up for either over-the-top bands or for loop tubes. Let's show you real quick how these loop tubes change out. You stretch your tube, and there you go. That's how you change your bands. You stretch your tube, and that's it. You do that on each side. This is set up, you know, for loop tubes. That little groove, or that little cut through right there to the hole, you just stretch your bands and pop them in there, and you are good to go. That is a band change. You're already done. The flip clips I just said I'd talk about. Now, I talked about these in my previous video. These are very cool. These make band changes for flat bands and anything else you want to put on one of the slingshots that takes these flip clips. A matter of less than a minute. There are some Phillips head screws in the back, and you know, they pull these clips to the frame, and then the clips fit in these grooves, whichever direction you need them to, whether you're shooting over the top or through the forks. This is slick. This makes this very, very easy. Yeah, so in either case, you know, we've got relatively quick band changes, but with the loop tubes on the Torque, it's an instant band change. You know, it just stretch the tube and pull it through that little groove, and poof, there you go. You're so it's a very versatile frame as well. I figured if I couldn't get the tubes figured out, I could always try out a dedicated over-the-top shooter with this frame, but I think I'm going to stick with the tubes. I've had some very good results. But let's talk about my experience with this real quick. My first 20 minutes, half an hour with this, there's a little damage here to show you right there, right there. That is the result of, I don't know, 25 fork hits in the exact same spot. I had some real trouble figuring out how to shoot this. Compared to shooting through the forks with my Scout, or compared to shooting through the forks with this half-cock target sniper, or compared to shooting my wrist rocket, etc. Yeah, there was something that wasn't clicking in my mind of how to shoot this frame, and I kept didn't seem to matter what I did. I whacked a fork hit like a zillion times right in that same spot. Well, you know, what corrected that for me was putting a little tweak on the pouch. I guess I remembered reading that in the forums that I don't know if it was specific to this frame or specific to shooting loop tubes or specific to shooting over the top, but putting a little tweak, you know, just turning the pouch just a little bit before you release, you know, that solved this fork hit problem for me. And within just a few shots, I was accurate. I was hitting what I was looking at, and that made me very happy. It only took me, after that initial half hour or so of shooting, it probably only took me 25 shots to get confident with this. Some of the reading I've done in some forums, you know, some people say that, you know, that tubes aren't as accurate as flat bands. I don't know. You know, I was hitting pop cans, you know, out to 60 feet within a few shots. You know, pop can's a pretty big target, not quite as big as the target we were shooting at the beginning of this video, but that is a pretty big target. I hit a water bottle, you know, a 14-ounce regular buy it in the store kind of water bottle at 75 feet. Took me 2 shots to get in on it. I don't know, you know, I haven't noticed myself missing by wide margins with these tubes, so I don't know if I'm, at least as a novice, you know, I don't think I'm going to agree with that idea. I think a guy can be very accurate with tubes. At least my accuracy didn't seem to suffer with the tubes. So, you know, let's real quick, let's put these side by side. And what you'll notice that you may not have realized from reading forums and watching YouTube videos is that these two slingshots are the same height. They're about 5.5 inches tall. These two slingshots, the outer width of the forks is the same. It's like 4 inches, I think. I've written it down here. Yeah, the outer portion of the forks is 4 inches. There is quite a difference in the depth and the inside distance of the forks. On this Torque, it's 1.5 inches from here to here, and then it's 2.5 inches. The inner forks are about 2.5 inches on the Scout. They have a weight difference, and that's because of they also have a thickness difference. Thickest spot on the Torque is like 0.8 inches or so. Thickest spot is here in the handle. This is 1.5 inches plus just a little bit thick. These are made out of the same sort of material. It's some sort of an injection molded kind of FRN, some fiberglass reinforced nylon, you know, injection molded kind of indestructible stuff. Very strong, very awesome stuff. So yeah, this weighs, you know, about 5.4 ounces. This weighs about 3.3 ounces. There's a considerable difference in the amount of material in them, but there isn't a considerable difference in the actual size of them in your hand. This being thinner, the Torque is a lot easier to put in a pocket, back pocket, shirt pocket. It's easier to have with you. Being a couple ounces lighter might mean something to some people. Doesn't mean much to me. I think that both of these, you can be very accurate with. I've just barely tried some over the top with flat bands on this. That's going to take some practice. I don't shoot that way, and that was a first attempt. So I don't know. I'm going to try it some more, but I see other people in YouTube videos shooting over the top and nailing stuff, so I'm going to imagine there's no disadvantage to that. These tubes are speedy. The ones that came on here, I was zipping 3/8 steel. Well, you saw it. It moves right along. I was really surprised at how long that 3/8 steel kept its speed up. From releasing a shot at 75 feet to it hitting the target was fast. I'd like to chronograph these, but other people have. There are some videos and etc. And some tables on the Slingshot forums talking about the kind of speed for different ammo people are able to get out of the different sizes of tube. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of disadvantage to this. I'm very fond of the Scout. I'm incredibly fond of the Scout. This was my other one here. I just bought this a couple months back, and I was able to get on target so quickly with this, and it's become, it's with me all the time now. This thing's either under the seat of the pickup or it's in my pocket. I shoot this a lot. I've been shooting this a lot. I've got to be a pretty good shot with the Scout. Once I figured out where I was going wrong shooting this, I was on target pretty quickly with this too. So there you go. These are both about the same price on SimpleShot.com. You should go there and get one of each. These are both very cool. I love them a lot. I love them both a lot. It's been a lot of fun shooting these, and this is getting to be probably a bad habit already. It's quite addictive. So I've fallen right into it, and there you go. There's some contrast and compare these. What surprised me the most is that they really are about the same size. I wouldn't have guessed that looking at the pictures on their website, nor watching people shoot them in videos. This looked like it was a lot smaller device than this, but it's really not. It's a thinner device, but they're really, the forks, outside of the forks are the same width, and they're the same height. So yeah, they're really close to the same size of device. Okay, that's it. That's what I've got to say about this. I did a little shooting at the beginning of this video. I can hit stuff with either one of them. I found it really easy learning with a Scout how to shoot a modern slingshot. This frustrated me for a half hour or so before I figured out what I was doing wrong or what would correct the problem I was having. But yeah, gee whiz, this is so small and so light and so thin, there's no reason not to have one of these in your back pocket when you're out in the field, when you're out in the bush. No reason not to have one at 3.3 ounces and less than 1 inch thick. Yeah, gee whiz. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's very cool. Okay, that's it. That's what I've got to say about this. If another look at a couple of cool slingshots from a novice point of view was useful to you, if that's information you were looking for, you know, give me a like down there at the bottom right of this video. You know, if you think you might like to see some more content like this, I do have, I'm thinking about getting a couple of more frames and checking them out. And then I do have one other one, actually two other ones that you might see in a near future video. And then I'm still intending to do some ammo videos. I'm going to do a lead casting round balls video sometime, and maybe a clay balls video. And maybe we'll explore that topic just a little bit sometime in the future as well. So if that might interest you, consider clicking that subscribe button. Okay, that's it. I really appreciate your time watching this, and I hope the rest of your day goes really, really well. Bye-bye now.